what's funny too? I didn't talk about Atlanta like that, because I was actually looking to buy a place in Atlanta. Because Atlanta is the new place for television.
Yeah, they shoot The Walking Dead down.
Yeah, so we have a television division, so I'm able to move that division out there too. So I could make a joke with it again.
Hey man, you better put me in some shit, man.
You could be in anything, man.
Come on, let me get down with y'all digital program.
I know 50 got a whole catalog. I'm gonna hit them up before we leave.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
This is Jay from FUBU. You're watching thisis50.com. All right.
For us, by us.
On the low.
The only thing I wanted to mention is that the shoes that you're wearing.
Yeah, what's the matter with it?
Well, that brand, FUBU.
What's the matter with the shoes I'm wearing?
The brand FUBU. It stands for us, by us.
I don't care what it's by.
It was a black. There was a black fellow who sort of created it as a brand for African American pride, essentially.
African American brand.
Yo, Jay, what's up, baby? Hey man, hey, did we have a good time last night or what?
Yeah. That's expensive, somebody.
Come on now. Hey, Joe, it's 25th anniversary.
Yeah. Actually, next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
What does that mean?
Wow. It means a lot. I mean, for us, by us. A lot of times you really don't give that term enough credit. I think in society now.
So how does it even start? How do you meet these guys? Four individuals with the same ideology that we're gonna make one of the biggest clothing brands.
Well, you gotta blame that on Queens. Just think about all the successful people, guys that came out of Queens, guys, women. You got LL Cool J, you got Run DMC, you got 50. I mean, you know what I mean? You got Salt and Pepper.
Yeah.
You have, of course, Rush. The uncle. And there's a slew of businessmen. And so many accolades, so many people. They say that it comes in the water. Because before we started, people were thinking about clothing lines. They were like, we can't do that. We were thinking about business. We were thinking about 4 people getting together and achieving what we achieved. $1 billion in sales. Like, who does that? You're looking at Ralph Lauren's. You know what I mean? So to give you a quick analysis or a quick summary of what happened, basically, Damon John, of course, from Shark Tank, he was making some hats, right? So I was going to fashion school. I just came home from Desert Storm. I got a military, actually Navy, on a medical discharge. I was 50% disabled.
You got shot?
No, not even shot. No, it was an accident. It messed up my back.
Okay.
So in turn, I got awarded some money from that. So I took $5,000 out of that money that I awarded, which was the most money I've probably seen in my lifetime at that age. And I said, hey Dame, let's start this. And then we started recruiting our partners, Dame, Keith, Carl, and then we all kind of came together. And then as it went along, and that money, of course.
What did those other guys bring to the table and to make you want to choose them?
Well, you know what it was? It was like we all have different personalities. Like me, I don't know. I can't talk about myself.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
You know what you want to say.
Yeah, no.
I see it.
I'm the fashion of it. You know what I mean?
Okay, say that.
I'm definitely the fashion.
Say that.
I'm definitely the one that dictated what fashion was going to be. I'm definitely that in. I'm the business / fashion. Damon was the business. 100% business, of course. Of him doing Shark Tank. Keith and Carl. Carl was more of the Carl growing up. Was like one of the pretty boys. He looked like Tubbs back in the days from Miami Vice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Keith was the more like hood and not necessarily grimy, but just hood. He could relate to the hood. Me, I'm like the type of guy that I can go uptown, I can go downtown, I can go to the hood, I can go to the president's house, I can go to any type of function and kind of blend in. Even though my attire mostly is a suit, you probably never catch me outside without a suit on. So with all those different attributes, they all came together to create, what people wanted. In the end, you think of for us by us, you really have to stick to that. What do we want? We know what we want. So when you had, all these different people, all these different personalities and 4 people, you put that all together in one, you created something that was nice, or that worked.
And it worked. So when did y'all get the break? What was the the breaking point for FUBU?
Well, the breaking point was...
And who comes up with FUBU? Or is it Forced by Us first? And then y'all...
Actually, it's Forced by Us first.
Okay.
Forced by Us first.
Okay.
And from that, of course, the acronym, you can't get called Forced by Us, so the acronym became FUBU.
Okay. Gotcha. And whose idea was that? Like,
well, it was
a meeting like, man, that's just too fucking
No. It's funny. The story behind that is David and Carl were sitting in a room just talking about what they were going to name these hats, because they had a graphic artist that was a friend from us around the way, and he created the logo once that. But it was like, what are we gonna do? He could create logos, so we were like, well, Forced by Us, but that's just too much to write. So those two guys are credited with actually, creating that. I came in to create the vision of FUBU as far as the clothing line, as far as what we wanted.
So the break, when does it come? Because it was a moment where FUBU like caught on, and you saw that shit everywhere. It was all.
Well, that's called distribution. See, that's the business part of it. And then the second to the marketing part of it. You have somebody like an iconic LL Cool J, and he's wearing on the Gap commercial.
Right, and they didn't even know what it was.
They didn't even know what it was, and because we're really, really good at that. Like, for instance, right now, we have Solange, Saint Records, her Beyonce's sister. She created a record called FUBU right now. So that's out right now. It's like, okay, she created a record called FUBU. All right, it makes sense. I mean, we have countless of artists, always talking about FUBU, and now, especially now, because it's time. I mean, we have FUBU Records, we have FUBU Radio, we have FUBU Television, we're building hotels in Atlanta right now. Our first one is going to be a flagship in Atlanta, and so it's a lot of things that we're doing kind of behind the scenes. Not necessarily in clothing, but taking the kind of brand digital. So, we always have time. We've always been there. I can't pinpoint one time that it just said, okay, we're just going to capital. Because, when you're 25 years in the business and you're still going strong, I can't pinpoint that. Oh, that's when we got hot. No, we were always hot.
All right, I got it. Man, you're a piece of work, baby. Hey, now let's talk about FUBU Records, man. I didn't hear about this.
No, that's actually, we had FUBU Records for years. We had a deal with Universal. We had a compilation album that went gold. Okay. And we have FUBU Foundation. I'm part of another foundation called Giving Hearts with Love.
Okay. What's the mission?
We travel to Haiti. I've been to Haiti like 3 times already.
Wow.
And helping the kids. We're actually looking to build a couple of schools out there. We're working out the logistics now to go out there and help because of the hurricane. We're just trying to, we got to give back. We a lot of times you look at this generation, and I've heard that we didn't grab them and bring them forward. But a lot of times you gotta understand too, if I grab you and pull you forward and you pull my hand back and I can't catch you, then I gotta wait for you to catch up to me. And a lot of times too, you have to get back. You can't get forward if you don't get back.
True.
You can't. And actually, I'm not even Haitian, but I'm doing this because it's something you have to do. And also, it's another thing. I'm the president of the New York State Black Chamber of Commerce as well. So I help the businesses scale and grow, and I help them with financing and things of that nature. And I'm really proud of that. I guess they call Damon the shark and I'm the dolphin in this sense.
Word.
So I just try to do that, create the mission, and keep the brand going and keep it alive and stay true to what we started, Forced by Us.
Word.
And that is just Forced by Us when it comes to, African American. There's tons and tons of different nationalities and people. It was really more about a culture. Culture of hip hop, culture of music, culture of fashion, culture of just love and bringing everybody together. In one breath through clothing. And of course through different other licensees that we have.
Word.
And we're global, so again, we still have stores overseas. Countless stores overseas. We've been to everybody's house, the president's house. We've been to Nelson Mandela's house. We sat and talked with these people, and we trying to just bring on that legacy and create a positive role model for people to look and say, listen, I can do better. You know what? You can do better. Let's all do better. If I can help, I do whatever I can.
Word, man. I'm really proud of you, man.
I'm just trying to make
you ain't stopped
15 cents, man.
Putting on yet.
And giving 5 that cent back.
Word. Now you was telling me a story about 50 last night.
What's that? Oh, funny thing about 50, we always respect him because we know where he came from. And when I say, of course, we all from Queens, But one thing about him is that, remember when we used to do Cancun back in the days, like we were like the headliners of Cancun, like it was ridiculous. So 50, no one really knew who 50 was at that time. It was like 50 Cent was like, oh, you know what? You from Queens? All right. You know what? Perform at every event. And normally we would charge people to do that. But we was like, nah, he's from Queens. You know, he cool. You know what? Perform. We let them perform in all the different places. And we were the biggest thing since the Beatles. You know, back then, and for us to kind of reach back to an unknown artist is really, is one of those things.
Are you surprised with what's going on with 50 now? Like after all those years, from seeing him coming from where you when you met him and like giving him that shot, and to see him doing this mogul thing with the
no, I'm
this
telling
makes
you,
sense.
It's in the water of Queens.
Word.
It's in the water. Like it's something about, and there's other boroughs that, rappers or whatever, moguls came out of. But the most per capita came out of Queens. Period. Hands down. To where we need our own Walk of Fame.
Is there anything you want to say to thisis50.com, man, before we get up out here? Because this is going to be the first of many interviews that we do.
I appreciate, I should appreciate talking to you yesterday. We had a good time.
We had a great time.
And, I appreciate 50 for being an icon and coming out of Queens and doing what he does.
There it is.
Social media, of course, A Fashion Mind, AFASHIONMIND @FashionMind. You can check that out, see what I'm doing, see what we're doing. FUBU @FUBU, the collection. Like us, say something, whatever you want.
Y'all still got the clothes? We can still order clothes and everything?
Actually, you know what?
Or what's the new brand that you push?
Well, no, that's like we're mostly pushing everything towards digital.
Okay.
We're gonna do a capsule of all our old pieces that
even the platinum.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna do a capsule of all the best pieces that sold. I mean, because remember, I don't know if you even know this, but we sold almost 1 million jerseys.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. To the point where the NFL was like, yo, listen, forget this, man. You can't even don't use our colors. Sometimes they wanted to like really sue us because we were doing so well. We selling more jerseys than the NFL.
Wow.
At one time. Nice. So we're gonna do commemorative jersey and commemorative hats, and actually I got one for you. I brought one for you.
Yeah, man, this is crazy. I never get anything.
So I brought you one. I brought 51. So
this is for me, and this is for 50.
Yeah. So
Man, I appreciate it, and I know he's gonna love it. But like I always say, you just can't say you're real or something. You gotta be, man. We out of here. Hey, do you have something in mind? Y'all go to commercial. Don't kiss them hoes in the mouth unless you got to. Pow.